Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tempe City Council regular council meeting agenda. Item number 1 is call to order. Council meetings can be watched in real time via Cox Cable Channel 11 and at tempe.gov/tempe11. Members of the public may also attend the meeting virtually through Microsoft Teams. If you have signed up to speak on items later on in the agenda, please know that as the presiding officer, I have the discretion to introduce items out of their regular order as listed on the agenda. I may change the order of items from time to time to accommodate scheduling, to allow us to address items with a large number of speaker cards so those wishing to speak on those items don't have to wait until later in the meeting, or to otherwise expedite the business of the meeting. If you wish to speak on an agenda item and you haven't filled out a speaker card yet, please make sure to fill out and submit your completed card to the city clerk prior to the item coming forward for council discussion. I will call your name when it is your turn for public comment. For those here regarding the Marshall on Spence project, which is item 8C1, the applicant has submitted a formal request to continue their application to the April 16th, 2026 meeting. Since the public comment of that hearing was previously closed, no public testimony will be taken this evening. So I'd now like to invite everyone who's able and willing to stand to join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's agenda has a number of items that the City Council must consider in order to conduct city business. Guidelines for conduct at City Council meetings are on the table near the entrance for those in attendance at tonight's meeting. We will now play a video with the proper protocol for ensuring the appropriate conduct at City Council meetings.
The City of Tempe welcomes public comment at this time. Disruptive behavior will not be allowed. Continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. We need to be able to hear everyone in the room. Behavior that disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of any city council meeting is not helpful and is not permitted. This includes behavior both inside and outside of the council chambers. Should individuals inside the council chambers become disruptive so that city business is not able to be conducted, the mayor will first ask that the individuals allow city business to be completed. There will be time for public comment during the call to the audience portion of the meeting. If no cooperation, the mayor will issue a verbal warning and let them know that the continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. If there is still no cooperation, the mayor will issue a second verbal warning and let them know that the continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. If there is no cooperation after asking and 2 verbal warnings, then the mayor will ask security officers to remove only those individuals who are causing the disruption. Security personnel should not engage in any way, but only escort them from the council chambers. If individuals refuse to leave, security personnel shall warn them that they are trespassing and that the next step will be arrest by a Tempe police officer. Tempe officers may have to arrest if individuals refuse to leave. Charges for trespass and disorderly conduct may apply, as well as other charges. Should anyone be asked to be removed, the mayor will recess the meeting.
Thank you. We'll now play a video conveying the City of Tempe's Native Land Acknowledgement Statement.
We acknowledge that Tempe lies on the ancestral land of the native peoples who have lived here since time immemorial. The ancestral land of the O'odham and Pipash stretches far beyond the boundaries of our city. The landscape is sacred to them, embodying cultural values that are integral to their identity and way of life. The O'odham and Pipash continue to maintain a deep spiritual connection to this land. We embrace the responsibility of caring for these places and vow to uphold this commitment in all our actions.
All right, we're going to move here to item number 4, meeting minutes, and tonight I'll be assisted by Councilmember Hodge. Councilmember Hodge.
I move to approve the city council meeting minutes in item 4A1.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Hodge, seconded by Councilmember Adams. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. Next up, item 4B, acceptance of board, commission, and committee meeting minutes. Councilmember Hodge.
I move to accept the board's, commission, and committee meeting minutes in item 4B1 through 4B11.
It's been moved by Councilmember Hodge. Do I have a second? Second. Seconded by Councilmember Adams. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. Just a quick note before we move to item number 5 here. Councilmember Keating is not here this evening because he's actually recovering from surgery. And if my voice sounds a little bit faint, I'm on sort of the tail end of a very bad sinus infection. So if you see me take a couple of breaks here periodically, it's just because the lights, because of the headache I've got right now. So I just want to make sure if you see me duck into the back, I'm not, or if I'm squinting, it's not because I'm squinting at what you're saying. It's just me trying to deal with all of this. But there are a lot of very important people and organizations who are going to be honored this evening, and I was definitely not going to miss this under any circumstance. So I'm really glad to be here with each and every one of you. Let me move on then to item 5A, mayor's reports and announcements. Let's see, I'll just take this down there. All right, item 5A1 is Tempe's commitment to climate action proclamation. And that one is, and let me make sure I have the people down here. Do I have members of our sustainability and resilience group? Let's see, the staff and also members of the commission as well who'd like to join me down here. Hello. And Kendon. Do you have something to say after this? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I saw Kendon had a card, and I'm like, I wanted to make sure that he wanted to speak after we gave this proclamation, so good to see all of you. So this proclamation reads, whereas the city of Tempe recognizes the science-based evidence that climate change is increasingly threatening the health, safety, and prosperity of our community. And whereas Tempe has a proud history of environmental leadership and innovation, yet the accelerating pace of climate change demands a renewed commitment to protecting our residents, strengthening our infrastructure, and investing in a sustainable future. And whereas this moment presents not only a challenge, but an opportunity for Tempe to lead boldly to shape a healthier, cooler, and more equitable city for generations to come. And whereas the city of Tempe declares 2026 a year of recommitment to climate action through the following initiatives. 1, addressing heat vulnerability through expanding investment in green stormwater infrastructure and urban forestry, advocating for increased funding for a citywide shade canopy and urban forest, and integrating equity-focused cooling and hydration access measures for all residents. And 2, advancing sustainable building and development through furthering the implementation of the International Green Construction Code and aligning new development with the Rain to Roots plan. And number 3, reducing greenhouse gas emissions through accelerating the community carbon neutrality performance measure that prioritizes investments and policies targeting emissions related to energy and transportation, accelerating the municipal carbon neutrality performance measure transition to 100% renewable energy, and investing in public transit infrastructure as prioritized in the forthcoming transportation plan. Now, therefore, I, Corey Woods, Mayor of the City of Tempe, Arizona, do hereby declare the City of Tempe shall continue to integrate these commitments into its annual budget processes and funding streams while ensuring progress towards the approved Climate Action Plan, affirming Tempe's leadership in strengthening community resilience, safeguarding our people, and creating a more livable, sustainable city for all who call Tempe home. Mr. Swisher? And Kendon, I know you had some comments here, so.
Yes, I prepared these. Yep, thank you. So, Mayor and Council, if you don't already know me, my name is Kendon Young, and I serve on your Sustainability and Resiliency Commission since it was established in 2015. I've appeared before you many times, but my mission has remained the same across these 10 years, to research, advise, and recommend policies and programs that transform Tempe into a healthy and sustainable community. To that end, we are excited and appreciative of your recommitment to this declaration of our climate work. We are a city that values science and evidence and data, and that is seen in what our city, in our What Works City certification. We are a city with an impressive history of leadership in this space, as seen in the Valley's first and award-winning climate action plan. And we are a city who delivers, netting over $2.8 million in successful sustainability grants. Sustainability matters to Tempe residents, neighbors, youth, and businesses, especially when the Phoenix metro area has experienced 70 days of temperatures over 110 Fahrenheit in 2024. This is a 14-day increase since 2023. This reality requires us to address heat vulnerability, to address sustainable buildings and development, and to rapidly reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. We've made so much progress already, and your recommitment tonight to integrate these priorities across all of the levers that the city has at its disposal will enable Tempe to protect its residents in spite of the accelerating pace of climate change. So thank you for your continued investment in our future and dedication to making Tempe a place to thrive. Thank you.
All right, next up, item 5A2, Bumblebee Air Conditioning Appreciation Day Proclamation. Hi, Lisa, come on up. Good to see you. So I got to tell you a very, very brief story before I get to reading the proclamation on this. I had Michelle Brown from the Tempe Women's Club in my office one morning, and we were having a conversation about the state of that building, and we all have read something about the history of that building and how important it is to our community. And she was talking to me at one point, though, about the concerns they had with the air conditioning unit on the top of the building, and they said, it's basically no longer working. We've been quoted over $13,000 to actually replace the unit in its entirety, and given some of the current fundraising with the Women's Club, we just don't have that kind of money right now to make that kind of massive expenditure. And I was hearing Ms. Brown tell me this, I thought to myself, well, let me see if I can call the person that I know who was my air conditioning person for quite some time when I owned my townhome at Mill in the US 60, which was Lisa Bain at Bumblebee Air Conditioning. And I called Lisa pretty much right there on the spot. And I said, is there anything that you can do to potentially help the Tempe Women's Club get a new air conditioning unit? And she said, well, Corey, we'll replace it for free. And I said, well, do you want me to go out and try to fundraise to cover some of the costs that you'll incur from your company, whether it's the cost of the air conditioning unit or the cost of labor? And she said, Corey, save your fundraising for some other group or another nonprofit in the city of Tempe who needs it. This is something that we just simply want to do. We really want to help people in our community. We know the value of the Tempe Women's Club and all the people who are frankly members. And so this is something that Bumblebee Air Conditioning just wants to give to these folks. So even after I offered to help raise money for it, Lisa would not accept a dime from me or anyone else I raised money from. And I've just seen that kindness from her on many occasions during the time that I've been mayor. A couple of years ago, we had a situation where a number of people at one of our mobile home parks were experiencing HVAC units that had just sort of completely gone out. And Lisa went in during those times as well and replaced multiple units for people in the city of Tempe who otherwise would not have been able to afford replacing them on their own. So you are a true treasure to this community. I just wanted to thank you personally for everything you've did for the Tempe Women's Club and everything you've done over decades, frankly, of service to the city of Tempe. And now I will read the official proclamation. Whereas Bumblebee Air Conditioning is a family-owned HVAC business that has proudly served the city of Tempe and surrounding communities for the last 26 years. And whereas owners Lisa Bain and Jimmy Clark, along with their dedicated team, have built a company rooted in integrity, community service, and spirit. And whereas Bumblebee Air Conditioning has continually demonstrated their commitment to giving back to the community through donations and volunteerism, benefiting local organizations, including the Tempe Community Action Agency and Tempe Community Council. And whereas in 2025, Bumblebee Air Conditioning generously donated a new air conditioning unit to the Tempe Women's Club, supporting a long-standing community organization that provides vital services and connection to those in need. And whereas the city of Tempe is proud to recognize Bumblebee Air Conditioning for their philanthropic efforts and commitment to contributing towards the collective strength and spirit of our community. Now, therefore, I, Corey Woods, Mayor of the city of Tempe, Arizona, do hereby declare December 11th, 2025, as Bumblebee Air Conditioning Appreciation Day in Tempe, Arizona. Yes. Here you go. Hold that for you.
I have less than a minute. I just want to say thank you, and I want to honor my husband here. He's the one that is the true founder of Bumblebee, and from day one, he's been relentless in his giving. He taught us how to lead with heart, how generosity can be the foundation of a business and of a community. And so it's because of him that we give. To my incredible team, the Hive, you're the soul of the company. You're the ones who do the hard work every single day. At this point, I just say go for it, and somehow you guys make it happen. Ian, thank you. Craig, thank you. To our friends, there's so many of you guys in this audience today. Thank you for every referral, every word of mouth recommendation. Our company is built off of word of mouth recommendations. Every moment you believe in us, enough to send someone our way. You've helped us grow enough to be generous, and that's a gift that we'll never take for granted. So thank you for growing us so that we can give back. To the city of Tempe, a place where we live, work, and play. We love this community. We're committed to giving back in every way that we can, as often as we can, and I've told Corey, call me. And finally, my parents, who taught us everything. Love conquers all. Everything we are, everything we give, and everything we build is rooted in that truth. Here's to generosity, here's to community, to love, and to everyone, including Corey and the council, who helped make this moment possible. So cheers. Thank you.
Do you want anyone else to come down and grab a photo with you? Or anyone else who wants to come down and grab a photo with Lisa, who's here to celebrate Bumblebee? Come on down. Oh, okay, I'll just get out of the way. Shireen's like a picture of her, Corey. Get out of the picture.
I said up the
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Go back in there.
Okay, go back in.
Thank you, Shereen. Thank you.
Hold on, before I go, hold on here. Shireen is one of my best friends, so I'm always either giving her a hard time or she's giving me a hard time, so. All right, let's see. Next up, item 5A3, Jennifer Johnson Remembrance Proclamation. I'd like to invite anyone here. I see Penn Johnson and Joan Johnson. Does anyone want to come up and join me for this proclamation, family or friends, or both? Each and every one of us on the city council knew Jennifer very well, and she was a close personal friend of all of us on council, as she was to so many people, frankly, in this community. We lost her very recently. It's a huge loss for the Johnson family, and of course to the entire city of Tempe. She was an incredibly warm, caring, wonderful individual, and we are greatly going to miss her. So we appreciate her family and friends being here to celebrate with us this evening her life. Yes, and council, yes, you can come on and join me now. Yep. Okay, so this proclamation reads, whereas the city of Tempe is honored to celebrate the life of Jennifer Ann Johnson, a cherished resident of Tempe, who dedicated her life to service, leadership, and giving to others. And whereas Jennifer made Tempe her lifelong home in 1970 and devoted her life to serving children, families, and the community she loved, beginning her career in early childhood education in 1991 and continuing through leadership roles at Open Horizons, the Arizona Governor's Office for Children, Youth, and Families, and First Things First. And whereas through her vision and dedication, Jennifer helped build Arizona's early childhood system, strengthening programs, partnerships, and services that have enriched the lives of hundreds of thousands of children across our state. And whereas Jennifer will be remembered not only for her leadership and service, but for her creativity, humor, and joy, expressed in her creativity, her love of music and adventure, her imaginative art, such as her signature penny ball fountains, her celebrations, and the warmth and laughter she brought to all those who encountered her. And whereas the city of Tempe is proud to have been the place that Jennifer called home, and her legacy, rooted in a lifelong commitment to giving every child the chance to learn, grow, and thrive, will continue to strengthen the foundations of early childhood support in Arizona, and her spirit endures in the love of her surviving family members, whose lives reflect the values of compassion, service, and joy that she lived every day, ensuring that her extraordinary influence will uplift our city for generations to come. Now, therefore, I, Corey Woods, Mayor of the City of Tempe, Arizona, do hereby declare December 31st, 2025, which was her birthday, as Jennifer Johnson Day in Tempe, Arizona.
All right. Big smiles, everyone. Very big smiles. Look here. Don't blink. 1, 2, 3. One more like that. Gotcha.
Wonderful lady.
Next up, item 5A4, Kevin Daly Remembrance Proclamation. Does anyone want to come down to join me for this proclamation who'd like to be in the photo and to accept the proclamation? I also want to thank Keelan Maney, who was the person who actually tagged me in the initial post on Facebook that told me about Kevin's passing and said, look, you know, Corey, as you know, he was very important to a lot of us here in the city of Tempe. And so honoring him with a proclamation would be something that would be very warmly welcomed by a ton of us who live here in the city. So I just wanted to thank her for reaching out to me and asking, and of course, providing a lot of the information along with a lot of other people that contributed to this proclamation today. I also very much appreciate folks from the community and the neighborhood showing up. I saw several people. I see Justin Stewart out there, who I know put something on his Facebook page saying, let's make sure that we get the entire neighborhood out to celebrate Kevin and the legacy that he left on the city of Tempe. So I want to make sure to read this proclamation. Whereas the city of Tempe recognizes our local music and musicians as essential to the identity and cultural vibrancy of our community, and honors beloved Tempe musician Kevin Daly, who passed away on November 26, 2025, after contributing to the soundtrack of our city for over 40 years. And whereas Kevin was a cornerstone of the Swamp House, his longtime residence in Tempe, which served as a cooperative workshop for vintage motorcycle and automobile restoration, and a gathering place for local musicians and vintage vehicle enthusiasts to pursue their passions. And whereas throughout his decades-long career, Kevin performed in numerous bands, played at Tempe's most iconic local venues, and consistently strengthened the city's live music community through his artistry and leadership, advancing the rockabilly and psychobilly musical movement in the city of Tempe. And whereas alongside his musical career, Kevin was a dedicated community member who provided opportunities to others, both through music and through his painting company, Hickory Wind Construction, which supported countless local musicians by allowing them to pursue their craft while maintaining financial stability. And whereas Kevin, who found strength in his sobriety, served as a source of support, inspiration, and encouragement for fellow musicians and community members seeking their own recovery in Tempe. And whereas the city of Tempe will forever be strengthened by Kevin Daly's legacy, rooted in song, strength, and service, which will continue to empower, inspire, and uplift our community for generations to come. Now, therefore, I, Corey Woods, Mayor of the city of Tempe, Arizona, do hereby declare December 11th, 2025 as Kevin Daly Day in Tempe, Arizona.
Everybody ready? Big smiles. 1, 2, 3. One more like that. 1, 2, 3.
All right, next up, item 5A5, CARE Inc. Award recognition. So this evening, my announcement is, the next announcement is a little bit different. CARE Inc. was founded 20 years ago with the belief that as a community, we are here to help one another. One man came forward to then Mayor Hugh Hallman to organize a gathering of faith, government, business, and nonprofits to address local issues. This became For Our City Tempe. That gathering led to the formation of the Tempe I Help program. Over the years, For Our City in Town, the For Our City in Town movement has extended to Chandler, Gilbert, and Queen Creek. Tempe's For Our City group continues to serve with heart and the belief that we are people helping people and making our community better because of it. Today, CARE Inc. challenges us to draw a bigger circle and embrace each other to build a more inclusive and caring community to create positive and lasting impact. So with that being said, please welcome the founder and president of CARE Inc., Mr. John McCadden.
Thank you, Mayor. 20 years ago, as Mayor Woods read, 20 years ago, I reached out to then Mayor Hugh Hallman and said, what is your passion and how can I serve you? And his passion was emergency preparedness. And that led to a movement called For Our Cities and Towns. We've been from Page to Nogales. We're now opening Santan Valley. Before they were a town, they've seen the vision. And we're here tonight, Dr. Alice, my wife, and myself, we're here to honor the visionary leaders that see that we need to draw a bigger circle around everyone. And not only are we honoring Mayor Hugh Hallman, but also Mayor Corey Woods, but we're also honoring parish spies. Because without the team, without the For Our City committee, the leaders of a community coming together, dropping their walls of judgments, dropping their walls that would hinder community. Without them, this would not happen. So this is CARE Inc.'s opportunity, which is the parent company of For Our Cities and Towns, and also the East Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, which also started with Mayor Hugh Hallman in the city of Tempe. It's our way of honoring the visionary leaders of this great state of Arizona and looking forward to more in the next 20 years. So this is to Mayor Hugh Hallman. He couldn't be here tonight. There's a lot of visionary leaders and they're always on planes. And then also, Parish, this is for you. In 2012, you worked hard to re-engage For Our City Tempe. and we thank you for that. There's so much that I could say about your mayor. I no longer live in the city of Tempe, but you know, when people have the right head and the right heart and are visionary leaders, good things happen. So Mayor Woods realized what Forest City was. I remember working with you in the initial one, the first one, and he said, we need this again in Tempe. And I want to thank the Forest City Tempe leaders that are here, that serve on the board. And if you are here tonight, you serve on the board of Forest City Tempe, would you please stand? Yep, I saw you back there. And would you please come forward as well, Mayor Woods? I can't tell you enough about the heart that you have for people. And you continue to reach across the aisle. You continue to see the best in everyone. And it is our honor, Carrie Inc., to present to you the 2025 Founder Award for Forest Cities and Towns. Thank you. TCAA's in the house. Yeah.
And let's see here. Next up, item 5A6, City of Tempe Board and Commission reappointments and new appointments. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. What did I miss? Was it up here? Oh, I missed my own notes. I told you, I apologize. I'm like a step behind this evening, so my apologies. Next up, item 5A5B, which is Tempe Needs You. So as you all know, I am deeply moved by our community, as is every member of the Tempe City Council. When the October 13th microburst happened, many Tempe residents immediately started helping each other. Many people asked us for ways that they could contribute. Our Communication and Marketing Office, alongside Community Health and Human Services and the Tempe Community Council, created an online opportunity to give to those who were impacted by the storm. The Tempe Needs You campaign connected people to a portal for donations of food, money, and time. People in need could find services there as well. We didn't know what to expect because, as we all know, that the storm was unprecedented. So I'm proud to say that this campaign raised more than $23,000 in just 3 weeks' time. TCC collected the donations, which are now being granted to Tempe Community Action Agency for storm-related assistance. So I'd like to bring to the front here Tempe Community Council Board Vice Chair Nick Tomaschott and CEO of Tempe Community Action Agency, Mr. Philip Scharf, and I see, Community Health and Human Services Director Tim Birch to come up and take a photo. And of course, Jason Franz and Julie Kent, come on up. I'm gonna let you do this. And council, you gotta come here with me as well. Everyone come on down. But as I mentioned before, the storm, I've lived in Tempe now for almost 23 years, and as we know, I have never seen a storm do that kind of damage in literally less than 10 to 15 minutes. We talked about many times before that during that storm, 22,000 people at one point in time were all without power. We had probably over 80 businesses that were completely displaced because we know there was one specific center where the entire roof was ripped off, and we found it down the street. And so this was a very, very big challenge for our community, but all of these great people stepped up, and they're going to make it a heck of a lot easier for a lot of people in this community to rebuild and get a sense of normalcy back. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you. Thank you.
cash that check. Big smile. One more like that. And gotcha. Amen. Good to see you. Thank you.
All right, next up, item 5A6, City of Tempe Board and Commission reappointments and new appointments. So serving on a city board or commission is a terrific way to get involved in local government and to start making a difference in our community. The City Council and I congratulate the individuals outlined in item 7A1 on this agenda or on their reappointments and or new appointments to the Tempe Arts and Culture Commission, Aviation Commission, Board of Adjustment, Commission on Disability Concerns, Desert Conservation Commission, Family Justice Commission, Human Relations Commission, Joint Review Committee, Library Advisory Board, Neighborhood Advisory Commission, Parks, Recreation, Golf, and Double Butte Cemetery Advisory Board, Sustainability and Resilience Commission, Transportation Commission, and Veterans Commission. So thank you for getting involved and helping to define the direction of our city. We are all grateful for your service. With that said, I'll now turn it over to our city manager. Any announcements, Madam City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, I have a few announcements. I'll make it quick. But first, I'd like to thank our fire department. Obviously, it's been almost 2 months since the microburst, believe it or not, October 13th, nearly 2 months. So I've asked Monique Rodriguez, our emergency operations manager, to come up and tell you about the SBA and their work with the residents and the businesses. I thought it would be a good opportunity to make sure we're getting the word out, along with the tree donation program. So I want to welcome Monique and Ellen. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Monique. I'm the interim emergency manager, and I have Danielle Haywood here with me from the Small Business Administration. As Mayor Woods alluded to earlier, we have had many different recovery efforts going towards the recovery from the microburst. And today we wanted to introduce the Tempe Tree Donation Program. We've been able to meet many of the needs across the community, but we have realized that there are numerous concerns for the trees that were damaged. We lost nearly 500 trees across the city. And they are very expensive to replace. So through Tempe Needs You, they are opening up a donation portal that will be on tonight's agenda. And once it's approved, people will be able to donate a tax deductible donation to be able to replace some of those trees across our community. I'm going to turn it over to Danielle. She's going to talk about the Small Business Administration's efforts to help some community members and businesses recoup some from the financial aspects of the storm.
Hi, yes, again, my name is Danielle Haywood. I'm a public affairs specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration's Office of Disaster Recovery. We are currently here in place offering disaster loans for businesses of all sizes, nonprofits, homeowners, and renters. And I do want to just reiterate that homeowners and renters can qualify for funding through us, and the SBA Office of Disaster actually primarily, most of our resources, about 72% of them, go to homeowners and renters. So we actually, in times of disaster, help the homeowners and renters and their needs primarily. Additionally, nonprofits, just to kind of highlight, because I know what the need is here, that can include homeowners associations and other organizations similar. So I know a lot of neighborhoods were impacted with the storm, and those organizations can also qualify as a standalone organization. Just a quick, real quick highlight, 25% of businesses don't open again after a disaster, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to make sure that people get onto the road of recovery to get people back home and to the life that they knew before the storm. Currently, there are 2 declarations that are happening in Arizona. We do have the current declaration of Gila County from the globe flooding, and Maricopa County is listed as a contiguous county, so there are resources that are available for Maricopa County residents through that declaration. The filing deadline for that was December 9th, but there is an automatic 60-day extension, so that declaration will be open for an additional 60 days. The remnants of Hurricane Priscilla and Tropical Storm Raymond, which is the Maricopa County declaration that covers the microburst, the filing deadline for that is going to be January 13th, 2026. So the big thing that we want to encourage everyone is to look into it and get those applications in before the deadline. These are the maximum amounts for our loan program. I won't get into all of the details of it, but all of this information will be available. And I do want to highlight that the loan terms can go as long as 30 years, that there's no interest and no payment in the first 12 months. So our goal is to get people onto the road of recovery, and that lets people get back into normal life before they have to start paying that. Again, just to reiterate, homeowners and renters can qualify, and I do want to highlight that landscaping is listed on there for homeowners. So I know that there was a lot of talk about, of course, so many trees that were lost. There was a lot of damage to not only the homes, but to the property itself, and landscaping is something that's covered for homeowners. Renters, I know that there was some apartment complexes that were severely damaged. Renters can apply to repair or replace their personal property, including their automobiles. So if people were affected by those trees that came down and they're renters and they feel kind of lost, we have resources for them. Businesses can apply for physical damage and economic injury. So if people had to stay closed for a few weeks, I mean, obviously we know that's going to immediately affect the bottom line, but also if people are affected long-term, our economic injury portion of the loan stays open until August 14th of 2026. So there is time for businesses to see that they were affected, how big the impact was, and then to reach out for those resources. There is mitigation options as well. So just a quick highlight example, if somebody's roof came off in the storm, they can actually apply for additional funding to put a, not just how insurance will match the roof that was already on there, but to put a better roof on. So that's where kind of mitigation comes in this scenario. The application process, people can go to our Disaster Loan Outreach Center, which I'll highlight here, but it is located at the Tempe Public Library. They can go on to sba.gov/disaster and find out resources there, and they can make appointments or walk into our Disaster Loan Outreach Center at the Tempe Public Library. The customer service representatives at the library will help people walk through. If somebody is initially doesn't have all the paperwork they need, or they have something they need to overcome, the SBA will refer them directly to resources to help them overcome those obstacles and come back in to get approved. Just another quick highlight, it's low interest rates, there's no cost to apply, the loan terms are 15 to 30 years, there is no prepayment penalty, and the funds are coming directly from the U.S. Treasury. So upon approval and acceptance, they can be direct deposited within 48 hours. And just this is our information here. Like I said, we do have our Disaster Loan Outreach Center open over at the Tempe Public Library, and that's going to be on the second floor. And the hours are Monday to Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we just want to continue to partner with, we've had some great relationships with the mayor and city council and emergency management, just if everyone can help us continue to spread the word, because we know that there's people that need this, and if we can just get them to get over that hurdle of applying, and then we'll take it from there. So I appreciate y'all's time, and just to give you guys a quick highlight, we have already had 47 applications that have been started, 6 have been completed, and we already are at an offer total of $417,000. So we already have money coming back into the community, and we're gonna keep working with people to make sure that we get you guys everything that you need. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. And Monique, it sounds like you need to take better care of your throat. It sounds like you've been taking care of a community and now it's time to take care of yourself. I'm sorry to hear her. Sounds just like you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Second announcement, I just wanted to make sure I publicly acknowledge the passing of our paramedic, John Garza. There's a great picture of him. John passed away on November 7th after an ongoing battle with cancer. He was a 20-year veteran with the fire department where he served as a captain, an engineer, and more. And he's also a veteran of the Marines. One of the things that we kept hearing about during his eulogy at his service, which was a beautiful service the fire department gave him, he had a wonderful sense of humor and he loved pranks. And it was just beautiful to hear three things that they kept saying: his wonderful sense of humor, his caring disposition for everyone. As a firefighter, that's imperative. But he saw people. People felt seen around him, no matter what. And everyone appreciated, and there was great loss felt at that funeral. So I just wanted to make sure our condolences to the fire department, fire medical rescue, and to the family of John Garza. And then lastly, how do I not mention Jennifer Johnson, Tempe's beloved Jennifer Johnson? Thank you, Mayor, for the proclamation and council. And as we know, she passed away on November 25th, and I thought I'd pull up one of the last pictures we had on Eve of the Eve, which is a Tempe tradition, a made-up holiday. It's we believe everyone goes out on New Year's Eve, but the amateur night is, we call that the amateur night. The real party starts on Eve of the Eve. And we started this tradition, and there's T-shirts, and Jennifer was one of the inaugural committee members to form that Eve of the Eve committee. And there it is, front and center in the black, Jennifer. Jennifer was a dear friend to this community and to many of us here on this dais and in the community, as you saw earlier today. But I just wanted to pay my respects to the family. She lives in my neighborhood. We basically have grown up together with the Johnsons. And one of the things I shared with another friend that passed away August 25th, which they both knew each other and both were experiencing cancer, and they died 3 months exactly apart from one another, Chris Cartwright and Jennifer Johnson, two Tempe residents. And one of the things I shared at the eulogy for Chris Cartwright, which seems very appropriate to share today after we saw the chambers filled with people who love Jen Johnson, which is, we grieve because we love deeply. In many ways, grief is love's final act, a testament to the impact a person has on all our lives in this community. And no better way to say it, but if we're grieving, that means we are fortunate to have loved someone so deeply. So thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Madam City Manager. Appreciate it. That brings me to item number 6, public appearances. According to the Arizona Open Meeting Law, the City Council may only discuss, respond to, or take action on matters listed elsewhere on this agenda for discussion and legal action. The purpose of the open call to the public is to allow individuals to address the City Council on any issue within the jurisdiction of the City Council. No person shall speak more than once, and there is a limit of 3 minutes per speaker. In the interest of allowing all members of the public to have an opportunity to speak, in the case that there is such a large number of persons intending to speak during the meeting that it may deprive other members of the public from the reasonable opportunity to speak, the mayor may limit each speaker to less than 3 minutes. Speakers present at the podium must state their name and city of residence and provide a speaker card. Members of the public shall refrain from making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks and from becoming boisterous while addressing the City Council or while attending the meeting. Speakers will be taken first come, first serve in the order in which the cards are received. Speakers' visual aids and appearances by phone or recordings are not allowed. The City Council is prohibited by state law from discussing, responding to, or taking action on matters raised during the call to the public, even if asked to do so by a member of the public, so long as the subject discussed by the speaker is not listed as a specific agenda item for council's consideration for discussion and legal action. Individual members of the council may respond to criticism made by speakers, ask staff to review a matter, or request a matter to be placed on a future agenda. All right, once again, I'm going to call these in the order which I received them. I've got 6 speakers this evening, and the first speaker I have is Mario Martinez. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Mario Martinez, and I live in Tempe. Corey, the non-existent bomb threat meltdown by your administration further enhances your public image problem as an evasive mayoral coward who endangers both our well-being and our Tempe democracy. On behalf of Tempe, and in contrast to Corey and his $370,000 per year city manager, I would like to apologize and recognize two fine individuals. These individuals are Ms. Kathleen Tierney and Mr. Stephen Methvin. Unlike Corey and his puppet city manager, Ms. Tierney and Mr. Methvin never committed any verifiable illegal actions related to social media. The criminal bomb threat allegations were based on unfounded City Hall hysteria. In fact, regarding social media practices, it was the council and the current city manager who were caught 3 times by the Arizona Attorney General for illegal meetings about Corey's covert social media monitoring of citizens, which they unsuccessfully tried to cover up. Using this social media experience, Corey's mayoral administration later asserted that a Game of Thrones Queen Cersei, I have trouble pronouncing that, GIF posted on social media was a bomb threat. Then the Maricopa County Attorney Office proved that they weren't stupid enough to believe this bizarre nonsense, and they refused to prosecute it. Corey's police chief, Kenneth McCoy, professes to be a social media bomb threat genius. Mr. McCoy proved his bomb threat expertise when he failed to pursue criminal bomb charges threats, even though he originally stated that the social media post really was a bomb threat. On the night of this alleged bomb threat, speaking of grief, was August 28th. This was a bit over a month after my wife died, and I became the widowed father of 2 young sons. Tell me about grief. There is no way I would have remained here if there was a police emergency such as a bomb threat. In contrast to the members of the council and the city staff were immediately informed about the police emergency while we were not. Corey, you obviously approved the police arresting a citizen for a legal social media post. You also approved your police not respecting our lives as much as yours. We do not approve these actions, Corey, not at all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The next speaker I have is Jana Lynn Granillo. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Mayor, Council, I too join the club of raspy voices here tonight.
Thank you.
My name is Jana Lynn Granillo. I live in Tempe, Arizona for over 30 years now. I want to address 3 topics. One is to describe a neighborhood situation. The next one is to simply ask the mayor and council and remind you all to prioritize neighborhoods in leadership decisions. And 3, to request for an accessible recorded community presentation regarding HB 2447 ordinance. So regarding the neighborhood situation, myself, my family neighbors are in opposition to a build proposal at 2105 South Terrace for an outdoor 24/7 distribution and commercial fleet autonomous car charging and service station on a site that is 1 small alley width away from a single-family homes, apartments where families live. The distribution center will use the same environment, streets, signal light, etc., where cars, pedestrians, students, scooter, bikes, electric bikes, etc., frequent. It has unknown risks in the case of fire. It uses our electric grid And there's many more reasons why this bill should be denied. Bottom line is that the site is wrong. And for the audience, examples of autonomous fleet cars are your Waymo and the emerging Tesla vehicles brands. It's important to know that there was no community meeting prior to the DRC hearing. The developer did the absolute minimum with reportedly misrepresentation of what the bill would do and serve. After an appeal was made to the DRC vote of approval, and the vote was not unanimous, a developer-run community meeting was held December 2nd. All who attended that meeting, full house with standing room only, approximately 90, all opposed the bill. If this bill moves forward, it will set a precedent for the city of Tempe. Neighbors are taking action to stop this 24/7 industrial type bill that will negatively impact our homes, environments where we live, and for me, who have invested a lifetime. From that meeting, I would like to repeat one of the questions from the neighbors that was made to the attorney, Wendy Rydell, who's representing Terawatt. These questions were unanswered, and they are so good, they must be repeated. Why do you think it's reasonable to ask neighborhoods to take on all of the physical risk, all of the inconvenience, all of the impact, so that a private for-profit company can make money? Why are they entitled to that? I wanted to emphasize the burden put on the neighbors to legally fight this thing, when I believe in this council and mayor, you can help to make it go away. Another topic very quickly regarding HB 2447 ordinance that was previously passed and dictated by the state legislature. My questions, let me just go down to the nitty-gritty here, is I'd like to know how residents will be made aware of changes proposed to builds, plats, et cetera, that's within the 2447. And, excuse me, how the residents will be made aware of the changes proposed without us having to go through great effort and looking through complicated maps and databases on the city website. We want to know, I want to know what it looks like when this, and, excuse me, to have the community meeting explaining this. And if you guys do this, please let us know when that will be done. And the third point here basically goes back to leadership priority. Finally, I want the city and leadership to lead with the lens and interpretation of discretionary authority with people who live here now, neighbors, people that are invested in this community. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And may we all take care of our sore throats.
Yeah, thank you. I think you sound great, Janelyn. Quick thing, Madam Clerk, is there an issue with the tech over there?
Yes, we're
we're
addressing it. It was going up at times.
I can just set a timer on my phone here, so. Just wanted to make sure.
We'll take care of it.
You got it?
Mayor.
Okay,
Yes,
sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so the next speaker I have here is David Alter. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
My name is David Alter, and I'm currently homeless. I lived in Phoenix and Tempe since I moved out here from Chicago. Graphic designer and special education teacher. I'm here to, and this is my dog Maxie, and I'm here because of him. Every decision I make is, always what's best for Maxie. I'm here to address the current situation with the loud mufflers and the backfiring engines in the city is hurting Maxie. Hurting him decibel-wise, to see him go through pain because these cars want to be loud is just, it's the end. I can't take it anymore. I have to try to do something. He wears headphones, but it shouldn't be that way. And so there could be ways to, there could be ways to address it. I have ideas, but the law says 50 decibels and no car shall be altered by muffler alone to make more than 50. And it's become to where even they've started to come after Maxie in their cars and do it. It's just, It's taken all my strength to stay seated when they come and do that. But so if something could be done to do that, I'm going to start doing something myself, which I can do. I got my way around the law a little bit by just hitting 2 decibel readings of their cars, giving them a chance to get it down, and then sue them. Or, you know, somebody that's not addressing it, because it's not just me. A lot of people feel this way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I ask you just a really quick general question? Kind of what general part of the city are you in right now?
Well,
you have to give it exact, but
rural and university. I mean, campus. Oh, rural and university. That street's intolerable. There could be streets that are more like zones that are prohibited, but it's a violation and it's an assault, really. And it's hurting Maxie.
Thank you. No, I only ask because I live right in the downtown, and so I hear a lot of what you hear as well.
Yeah, it's everywhere now.
Yeah,
it's growing.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Next up, I have Curtis Wood. Please come forward. State your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Curtis Wood. I live in Tempe, and I wanted to thank the council members and for the meetings they have almost every month, I think it is. I attended Randy Keating's Spill the Tea. It was very informative. We got a nice update from the Tempe Police Department. I think he said he was a patrol sergeant that came and told us about stats. But the real reason I'm here tonight is because I want to let you guys know that even though it seems to have stalled the rezoning request or effort with the Development Review Committee, we are still out there. We have thousands of people that have signed our signatures. Sell the 44 acres to somebody who will use it as zoned, but we are definitely against rezoning. So please remember that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The next speaker I have is Carolyn Nelson. Please come forward. State your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
First and foremost, thank you very much, City Council members, for this opportunity to speak tonight. I am also, like Curtis Wood, speaking on behalf of saving Shalimar from rezoning, Shalimar Golf Course, that is. I've been a resident of Tempe since 1983. I've frequented the Shalimar Golf Course, the clubhouse, the restaurant for many, many years. It was part of my almost nightly ritual to walk the golf course. I heard somebody protest at one of the meetings that I spoke up for saving Shalimar, saying, you had no business walking the golf course. Well, the new Heisels actually agreed that it was fine as long as I understood it was at my own risk. So indeed I did. It was part of my regimen for exercise. And ideally, I chose living in Tempe and the Shalimar neighborhood because it was ideal, an ideal location, because I wanted a walkable community, a community I could get to grocery stores, restaurants, drugstores, schools. We have 3 schools right in our neighborhood. And the notion of adding 1,000 cars estimated by this high-density dwellings that are going to be part of the 44 acres that is now the golf course will ruin that. It will really put in jeopardy the safety of our school children, of the many bicyclists and pedestrians that walk the area. We've already had an issue on Country Club Drive with too many people driving fast, ignoring kids on bicycles and weaving in and out of traffic on their way to school. And it's not the right place for a high-density set of apartments and housing. It's an established neighborhood that is just a wonderful mecca to me. I was just totally stunned and appalled to see over 300 trees being marked for destruction, for taking out. These were trees that are 60, 80, many feet tall. And there's owls living in there. There's a riparian area where we have owls and foxes and lots of bird life. And it was a joy to make that a part of my regular walking and exercise routine. So, of course, I'm biased. I am also understanding that people are saying, well, we need a whole lot more housing, but we need affordable housing. This isn't going to be affordable housing. Got it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And the last speaker I have is Patrick Michelson. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, Council and Mayor. My name is Patrick Michelson. I've lived in Tempe 30 years, my entire life. And some of my earliest memories are golf course lessons at Shalimar Park. It's not just a golf course, it's not just a park, it's a nature reserve. It's a place that people can go to be a part of nature. That's something cities need. We need green spaces. It's very important, and Shalimar is one of our few treasured green spaces. It's a Tempe landmark. And if you care about the community, and I believe you do from the actions that you've taken with Kiwanis Park and the tree canopy actions, I believe in that. I need you to protect the community, protect our green spaces. What would New York be without Central Park? It would be blocks of concrete, and humans can't live like that, and it's just very important to me and the community. So Tempe, as a people, the heart and soul is as you see here today, what we care about. First, a community first thing, right? People here who live here, the people who live by that golf course, they should decide what happens to that area, not some developer who comes from out of town and professes to care about this community, because if they cared about this community, they would build it on a dirt lot. We have a lot of dirt lots. We can send them there. And again, the voters, if we are betrayed in any capacity here when it comes to this treasured place that's near and dear to so many of our hearts, we will, hold people accountable with our votes. And lastly, I would like to say that when it comes to this space, it's just very important to all of us, and I hope it's important to you, and I hope that the community comes first in your hearts as it does in all of ours. Thank you.
Thank you. That is all the cards I have this evening. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to address the council under item number 6, public appearances? If so, please get my attention. Okay, seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting and move on to item number 7, which is the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be considered as a group and will be enacted with one motion by the City Council unless an item is removed for separate consideration. Members of the public may remove public hearing items for separate consideration. Public hearing items are designated as public hearing item at the beginning of the item title. Council members may remove any item for separate consideration or to declare a conflict of interest. If a council member would like to declare a conflict at this time, the city clerk will provide the council member with a disclosure form. If you wish to speak on a public hearing item, please fill out a speaker card and submit your completed card to the city clerk prior to the agenda item coming forward for council discussion. I will call your name when it is your turn for public comment. This evening, the consent agenda is listed as follows: miscellaneous items 7A1 through 7A5, awards of bids and contracts, items 7B1 through 7B20, and resolutions, items 7C1 through 7C6. Once again, any agenda item designated as public hearing item can be removed by a member of the public for separate consideration. If anyone would like to have a public hearing item removed, please get my attention now. Okay, seeing none, I'll look to the council. Are there any agenda items that you'd like to have removed from the consent agenda for separate consideration? Okay, it's been moved to approve the consent agenda as read by Councilmember Hodge. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Amberg. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. That brings me to item 8, non-consent agenda. All items listed on the non-consent agenda will be considered separately. Agenda items scheduled for introduction and first public hearing will be heard, but will not be voted upon at this meeting. Agenda items scheduled for second public hearing and final adoption will be voted upon tonight. Council members who may have a conflict of interest may abstain from voting on a matter, and the city clerk will provide the council members with the disclosure form at this time. First up, item 8A, miscellaneous items, bids, contracts, and resolutions. The first item under the section is 8A1, which is to hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution for design and placemaking principles for Apache, which is the Character Area 4 plan, updated November 2025, which generally encompasses land east of Dorsey Lane, south of the Salt River, west of the city boundary, and north of the Union Pacific Railroad. Council, any questions for staff on this item? All right. Jacob, you have a presentation you'd like to give us on this?
I'll make it quick.
Sure.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I do want to give this presentation as there is an amendment that I would like you to consider in the plan as part of your motion of it. But I'll go through really quickly and give kind of a highlight of this project. I know that you have seen me very recently for some character area planning projects. So as you know, we've got 8 of these areas throughout the city of Tempe. The Apache one, number 4, shown in purple there on the map, is actually the first one that we're going through and doing an update on. The intention is that we eventually get around to all of them, but this is our kind of pilot program for doing an update on these plans. So as we'll recall, these are some policy documents, generally guidelines, objectives that help us when considering new development within the city, as well as providing input for future investment and decision making. As a policy document, it doesn't affect any changes towards private property rights, such as zoning, regulating businesses, or changing of projected land uses. The Apache area, just some demographic and employment information to note. This particular part of Tempe happens to be one of the more diverse racially in the entire city. As you can see there, the breakdown of the city as a whole on the left versus the Apache area on the right. Some socioeconomic characteristics, about 31,000 people living in this part of Tempe, with median age at about the same as the city. But a big difference that you'll see compared to the city as a whole is that the Apache area has about 80% renter occupied units versus about 20% owner, as compared to the 60-40 split that we see for the city of Tempe as a whole. A quick look at the employment sectors in the area. A lot taken over in the finance and manufacturing industry, but also a very large regional commercial center that does have a lot of employees would be the Tempe Marketplace, also found in the Apache area. Just a quick snapshot of some of the pictures of places that you'll probably recognize in the Apache area. Some of those post-war neighborhoods, mixed use and multifamily housing, as well as some old highway commercial centers and lots of public art. I've mentioned some of these already, but some of those large points of interest in the area include the Tempe Marketplace, our Escalante Community Center, a few designated historic districts in Tomlinson Estates and the Borden Homes, as well as the mixed-use community known as Cul-de-sac. Some general traits and characters is the freeway adjacency to both the 101 and the 202 greatly affects some of those land use patterns. It's the location of our Smith Innovation Hub and contains some of those post-war neighborhoods and mixed-use transit-oriented development with the light rail corridor going right through it. So as I mentioned, this one is an update. The original Apache plan was adopted back in 2016. It's kind of a slideshow format. It's got about 35 pages with 18 sections and 78 individual principles, as well as a lot of maps, a plant palette, and some individual pieces of placemaking culture and history about specific people and areas and aspects of the Apache area. This is a look at the themes that were in the 2016 plan, and on a later slide I'll show you what they look like in the update, as some of them have been kind of combined or modified, and there's a couple new ones as well. This is what that plan looked like way back 10 years ago, which is hard to believe that 2016 is that long ago. Standard format of kind of what we do now, maybe a little bit shorter, but we've got the individual elements with the principles and objectives below them. In the last 10 years, a lot of change in the area. So what you'll see on the next couple slides is examples of a few projects that have come through in the Apache area. And these on the right side of the screen are actually excerpts from the staff report that the city planner wrote about the project, noting how this particular project is compliant with our character area plan. Just to show that when people are looking to build something and we're having a staff planner and community development review it, we are looking to make sure that they're touching on the important aspects of these documents in whatever way that they want to provide for us. Because these are voluntary in policy, but it always looks better for them to give as much reasoning and compliance with these documents as they can. So that one was for cul-de-sac. This one is Rio East over on Rio Salado by the 101 and 202 interchange. And then those Freedom Financial buildings that you can see from the 202 as you cross north of the city. There's tons of other examples. A lot has changed in the last 10 years in the Apache area. So I won't go through an exhaustive list, but this is just to kind of give an idea. So this project we kicked off back in May with some kickoff meetings as well as some stakeholder meetings with the Citizens for Vibrant Apache Corridor, presentations with the Neighborhood Advisory Commission, a business mixer that we hosted for employers within the area, as well as several pop-up events that took place over the summer. Which you see there on the right as a board that we were taking around to these events to get some feedback on what priorities that community members felt were still important from the 2016 plan, so we can make sure to emphasize them in the update. Once the draft plan was released back in September as a first draft, we had another meeting with the Citizens for Vibrant Apache Corridor, as well as a presentation to the Historic Preservation Commission and some more pop-up events. Generally, some of the feedback that we heard is encouraging local and small businesses, looking to continue with sustainable building practices, looking for grocery stores and restaurants, and in general, pedestrian safety, cyclist safety, separated crossings, and bike lanes. So the plan update was released early November. These are the 15 themes that are within it. The ones that have an asterisk next to them, those are the ones that are either entirely brand new or significantly reworked. All of the elements do have new objectives and principles within them, but those ones are kind of were changed the most as, you know, in 10 years, there's been a lot of movement in some of those fields of thought. So we felt it important to include them or to extremely revamp them based on the feedback we were hearing from the community. There's a look at the table of contents. One thing that this plan does in particular is in the history, context, and culture. We've broken it out into the individual neighborhoods of the area so that you can get more specific into your particular part of the Apache area when you look back at what was culturally relevant and important in the time and learn about the history of your neighborhood as well as the area you live in as a whole. It also includes some appendixes, including the recommended plant palette, a plan implementation rubric, which is something relatively new to these character area plans, but that helps community development staff make sure that there's general compliance with these documents. Here's the format as compared to the last iteration of it. Follows more or less the same format. You've got the preamble of your theme, followed by principles and guidelines that go into detail about what we are looking to accomplish. As I mentioned, some of those significant updates include those unique histories about the neighborhoods, as well as breaking up the themes and sections into different order. A lot of language in there about strengthening those historic and cultural contexts as it relates to future development going on in the area. Emphasis on mobility, connectivity, and multimodal transportation, mixed-use neighborhoods, and the transition that they have when they come up against existing single-family, as well as making the area safe, shaded, and walkable and bikeable. There's that evaluation rubric that I mentioned earlier. But these are the changes that are more recent. So in the last week, I learned from a community member in the Apache area that we missed something that's pretty important to the Apache area, and that being some history and some objectives relating to flood irrigation. So I have the text written for a couple alterations to this that I'd be looking to recommend that with your adoption of the resolution that we include these changes. These include adding the history of flood irrigation to our history section of this document. It goes over, you know, how moving from farmland into suburban development, they were able to use some of those existing irrigation infrastructure to irrigate landscapes and front yards. Talks about when it kind of fell out of practice and the pros of having those microclimates that are established by having lusher landscape than you might get from drip systems. It also would add those flood irrigated neighborhoods to a neighborhood map that's already included in the document, so that we'd be able to see which neighborhoods in Apache still utilize this technology. And then there's 3 new objectives that relate to flood irrigation that would be added. One of them would fall under historic preservation. That would go to the extent of any time we have a property on the Tempe register, that the vegetation or existing flood irrigation be taken into consideration when determining appropriateness of modification. An objective in the neighborhood identity section that acknowledges that the vibrant, lush landscape has become emblematic of some of these neighborhoods, and that to the extent possible, we'd like to retain those lush vegetative landscapes and shade trees, as well as an amendment to an existing objective in the landscape treatment element that refers to using the recommended plant palette, but also acknowledges that some of those plants that thrive in flood irrigated environments might be different than typical desert adaptive plants that we usually would recommend for places in the Sonora Desert. So this is the final step in this process tonight. Like I said, we began this process back in May. It's been about 7 months of working with the community and refining and drafting this document. And as you can see, it goes kind of right up till the end. But with that, I'd just like to reiterate that we're looking for a recommendation of approval. I'm looking to recommend approval of the updated Apache Character Area Plan, inclusive of those modifications that I've noted relating to flood irrigation. So with that, happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it. Council, any comments or questions for Jacob? Vice Mayor Garland?
I just have a comment. I love the fact that you're putting something in there about flood irrigation. Coming from a neighborhood, and my parents lived around the corner from us, and we had to go and get their irrigation set up. And turn it on in the middle of the night. It'll be interesting. So remember, if you're going into South Tempe, our neighborhood down there, I don't remember what our character area is called. Is it Corona? But it'd be interesting, so save that information, because you're gonna need to put that history in ours, because I know it's not in there, because I didn't read it when I went through that first. So that was really interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, any other comments? Councilmember Adams?
This looks like a really good plan. I'm happy about how it turned out. So thank you for all your hard work. That's a long time to work on something, but you succeeded. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Further comments, questions? All right, great. Thank you, Jacob. All right, this is also a public hearing item, so I'm going to open up the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the City Council on this item? If so, please get my attention. All right, seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council members, any final comments or discussion, or do I have a motion? Okay, it's been moved to approve item 8A1 by Councilmember Hodge. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Staff had proposed some amendments to the resolution to the character area plan. So if the council wants to accept the amendments proposed by staff, your motion should include a resolution, adopt the resolution, including the amendments proposed by staff.
Okay, so Councilmember Hodge just said, I mean, she's. Okay. Is that acceptable, Mr. Anderson?
If I think I heard Councilmember Hodge, she is moving to approve with the amendments as proposed by staff.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so it's been moved by Councilmember Hodge and seconded by Councilmember Adams. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. All right, the next item under the section is 8A2, which is to approve the utilization of a one-year State of Arizona cooperative contract with Ferguson Enterprises Incorporated, Paul's Ace Hardware, Voss Lighting, and WW Granger for maintenance, repair, and operations equipment and parts. Council members, any comments or discussion?
Motion to approve.
It's been moved by Councilmember Adams. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Hodge. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A3, which is to award one-year contracts with 4 one-year renewal options to ErgoFlex Systems Incorporated, doing business as Zybic Systems Incorporated, Evans Consoles Incorporated, and Winstead Company LLC for the purchase and installation of dispatch furniture for the police department's 911 communications operation. Council, any comments or discussion? It's been moved by Councilmember Adams. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Amberg. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A4, which is to approve a one-year contract renewal with Graffiti Protective Coatings Incorporated for cleaning of the city's bus stops, passenger shelters, transit centers, and multi-use paths. Council, any comments or discussion? It's been moved by Councilmember Hodge. Do I have a second? Seconded by, I think, Councilmember Chin. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A5, which is to award a pre-construction contract to Archer Western Construction LLC for project number 320802-4A, granular activated carbon and other improvements, South Tempe Water Treatment Plant. Council, any comments or discussion? Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Adams. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Hodge. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A6, which is to award a construction contract to AJP Electric Incorporated for project number 600897-1A, Grand Canal Multi-Use Path Connection and Extension Project. Council members, any comments or discussion? It's been moved by Vice Mayor Garland. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Chin. Please vote. And that item is approved 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A7, which is to award a professional services contract to Intellis Incorporated for project number 5499742M, Pavement Quality Index Acceleration at various locations. Council members, any comments or discussion? It's been moved by Vice Mayor Garland, seconded by Councilmember Hodge. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A8, which is award a professional services contract to Dick and Fritsch Design Group Incorporated for project number 5611461, Fire Medical Rescue Station number 8. Council, any comments, discussion? It's been moved by Councilmember Hodge, seconded by Councilmember Adams. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8A9, award a professional services contract to Sunrise Engineering LLC for project number 5499742M, Pavement Quality Index Acceleration at various locations. Council, any comments or discussion? It's been moved by Councilmember Amberg and seconded by Vice Mayor Garland. Please. Okay. Yes, Councilmember Adams.
Yes, Eric, there was some discussion about the different contracts and some more quality than the others. Are you familiar with that? With the new pavement? Yeah.
Oh, Mr.
Oh, it's Tara? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. It's Mark.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Yeah, just want to.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mark Weber, City Engineer.
So my question is I see we're using different contracts, and I'm just wondering about the quality and with the different contracts, like who's doing a better job than the others, or do you have any feedback, or you know what I'm talking about?
So,
it was on Elliott between.
You're talking about the construction contracts. These are for design.
Oh, okay.
These contracts are for design of the 2020 fiscal 2027 paving year
Okay.
designs. So that's what these contracts are for tonight.
Okay. It's all right.
Okay.
I'll talk later.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Mark. All right, so there was I can't remember who made, you had the.
No, she moved it. Sorry, you moved it.
All right, so Councilmember Amberg moved it and Vice Mayor Garland seconded.
And then I screwed it all up.
You know, you're totally fine. Please vote.
Long night.
Yep, and that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The last item under the section is 8A10, which is to award one-year job construction contracts with 4 one-year renewal options to Caliente Construction Incorporated, Chase Building Team Incorporated, Valley Rain Construction Corporation, and Wilming Construction Incorporated to perform park infrastructure improvement projects. Councilmembers, any comments or discussion? It's been moved by Councilmember Adams. Do I have a second? Seconded by Vice Mayor Garland. Please vote. And that item is approved 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next section on the non-consent agenda is ordinances and items for introduction and first hearing. The items under the section will be read and introduced tonight, but no substantive votes will be taken. The second hearing and votes are scheduled for January 8th, 2026. The only item under the section is 8B1, which is to introduce and hold the first public hearing to adopt an ordinance amending Tempe City Code, Chapter 16A, License and Business Regulations, Article 10, Short-Term Rentals and Vacation Rentals, by amending Section 16A-213, License Required Penalties, to conform to changes adopted by the Arizona State Legislature. The applicant is the City of Tempe. Council, any questions for staff regarding this item? All right, hearing none, this is also a public hearing item, so I'll open up the public testimony portion. Anyone wishing to address the council on item 8B1, please get my attention now. All right, seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing and just want to reiterate, the second and final public hearing on this item is scheduled for January 8th, 2026. The last section on the non-consent agenda is ordinances and items scheduled for second hearing and final adoption. So votes on these items will be taken this evening. Once again, I know we talked about this one earlier, item 8C1. The applicant has requested to continue this to the April 16th, 2026 regular council meeting, so there'll be no action taken on that item this evening. Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Mayor, you will need to have a motion to continue.
Okay. I thought I could just do that, showing you how little power I actually have sometimes. Do I have a motion? Okay, it's been moved by Vice Mayor Garland and seconded by Councilmember Hodge. Please vote. And that item is approved 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent to move that, to continue that item to the April 16th, 2026 regular council meeting. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate it. The next item under this section is 8C2, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to adopt an ordinance for amendments on photovoltaic use consisting of changes in the Zoning and Development Code on the allowance of photovoltaic systems with the addition of a new section 4-408 with photovoltaic standards and definitions. The applicant is the City of Tempe. Council members, any questions for staff on this item or why I had to say photovoltaic 3 times?
Motion to approve.
There it is 4 times. It's been, actually before, I got to withdraw that. Actually, we had a public hearing on that one, so. Okay. All right, so this is a public hearing item, so if there's any public testimony on item 8C2, please get my attention now. All right, I will close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Councilmember Adams, you want to?
Motion to approve.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Adams. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Hodge. Council, any final comments or discussion? Seeing none, please vote. And that item is approved 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The next item under the section is 8C3, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to adopt an ordinance authorizing the partial abandonment of an 8-foot public utility easement located in a subdivision west of McClintock Drive and north of Warner Road for 8423 South Los Feliz Drive, which is the Mondola Family Living Trust. This is also a public hearing item, so I'll open up the public testimony portion. Anyone wishing to give public testimony in the audience, please get my attention now. All right, seeing that, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council, any comments or discussion, or do I have a motion? It's been moved by Councilmember Hodge and seconded by Councilmember Chin. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. Next item under the section is 8C4, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to adopt an ordinance authorizing the granting of a power distribution easement to Salt River Project Agricultural Improvement and Power District over certain city-owned land identified by Maricopa County Assessor's parcel number 132-35-985 and authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute an easement agreement and related documents. This is also a public hearing item, so if there's any public testimony from anyone in the audience on item 8C4, please get my attention now. Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council members, any comments or discussion, or do I have a motion? It's been moved by Councilmember Chin. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Amberg. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. The last item under the section is 8C5, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to adopt an ordinance authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute a lease agreement for lease of city-owned commercial property located at 125 East 5th Street in Tempe, Arizona, subject to approval of the lease terms by the city attorney. Council members, any questions for staff on this item? Okay, seeing none, this is also a public hearing item, so if there's any public testimony on item 8C5, please get my attention now. Seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council, any further comments or discussion, or do I have a motion? It's been moved by Councilmember Hodge, seconded by Vice Mayor Garland. Please vote. And that item passes 6-0 with Councilmember Keating absent. And just as a note, if anyone is wondering what is actually 125 East 5th Street, that is actually the Walker House, which is the former House of Tricks, which now sits directly west of Tempe City Hall. I had to look it up myself. 125, what is that? And I'm like, oh, that's what that is. So there we go. That's my public service announcement of the evening. That brings me to item number 9, current events, council announcements, and future agenda items. Council members may also request that an agenda item be added to a future council meeting during their allotted time, but in accordance with the open meeting law, there should be no discussion on the item other than to clarify the request. So I'm going to start this evening with Councilmember Hodge.
Okay. This Saturday from 4 to 9 p.m., join us at Tempe Town Lake for the Fantasy Lights Boat Parade and Holiday Market. The boat parade will begin at 7 p.m., followed by fireworks starting at 8:15. Enjoy the holiday shopping, delicious food, beautiful decorated boats as we celebrate the season together. And please note that clear bag policy will be in effect for this event. We look forward to seeing you. And I just want to say to everybody, wish everybody a very, very happy holidays and a safe one as that. And that's all my supports. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next up, Councilmember Amberg.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any announcements, but I just wanted to tell everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'm going to be very happy next week because my daughters are going to be home.
Fantastic. Next up, Vice Mayor Garland.
I don't have any announcements, but yet a Keshmesh, which is Merry Christmas in Navajo. To everybody, happy holidays to everybody, and I get all 4 of my kids back too, so I'll be home next week. Woohoo, busy house. Lots of cooking.
Perfect. Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to wish our staff, our wonderful
awesome.
staff, sorry, a very happy holiday and have a safe and healthy and hopeful start to 2026. May 2026 be a great year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Chin.
Thank you, Mayor. No announcements.
Thank you. And on mine, I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday season. And I just want to wish a very early happy 45th birthday to my brother, Brandon Woods, who will turn 45 this coming Sunday, actually. Our birthdays are a week apart on the same day of the week, so it's impossible to forget if you're me. But can't believe my younger brother's already going to be 45, but you couldn't have a better sibling than Brandon Woods. So I wanted to say thank you, even though I know he's not watching this meeting, but maybe he will now. So,
Yeah.
he's an exceptional sibling. Thank you, thank you. I try.
Mayor?
Yes.
I would like to wish you a very belated happy birthday, but happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's not that late. It was only a couple of days ago, but thank you. Photovoltaic. All right. That brings me to item number 10, public appearances. Once again, rules for speaking during the public appearances item shall be the same as stated earlier for the first public appearances item. So if there's anyone in the audience wishing to address the council at this time, please get my attention. All right, seeing none, that brings me to item 11, adjournment. The next regular scheduled city council meeting was going to be on January 8th, 2026. We are adjourned. Have a good night and a safe and happy holiday, everyone. Good night.